angelic and innocent. They spread smiles with their unconditional love wherever they go. These happy creatures not only touch hearts but also transform lives. Founded by Minal Kavishwar, Animal Angels is an organization that helps the specially abled.
For most children, coming to the school or coming to a therapy session for the dog is their motivational point. They come to the therapy session so that they get to play with the dog, and that's basically the focus or the base of our therapy, where the dogs motivate to do the children or adults to do something beyond their capacity.
Despite being brought up in a family where pets were forbidden, Minal always had a special place for these gentle creatures. While pursuing her master's in clinical psychology and studies in canine behavior, she found her true calling. A request to train a dog for a school for the learning disabled saw Minal take the first step in what became a life-altering decision, not only for her but for many others.
Our therapy dogs are trained from since they are very young. Most of the therapy dogs belong to families. We see to it that they have a very stable emotional bonding with the family, because that becomes the basis of their personality as a therapy dog. The correction is done in a very gentle and positive way. The dog is taught not to jump, not to lunge on people, or not to bark excessively, not to be scared of certain things that the dog would encounter, like say a stretcher or a pair of crutches or wheelchairs, or people with different kind of gaits. So the dog is exposed to a lot of these things, a lot of stimuli.
Minal first examines the dog and studies their personality and potential to be therapy dogs. Only then do these wonderful pets become a part of a unique venture. Animal Angels is the only such organization in India providing a special kind of therapy that can be clubbed with many other forms of treatment, depending on the mental and physical ability of an individual. Minal Kavishwar's extraordinary venture has proven to be a boon for society.
If there is a child with spasticity or any kind of muscular dystrophy, and the child needs a lot of hand movements, motor activities, or even for an adult, for that matter, post-operative, they need to do a lot of activities. So the same physiotherapy activities are focused on the dog, like grooming the dog, holding the brush with different grips, holding on to the dog's leash, buckling, unbuckling, walking at different paces with the dog. So all these activities seem normal, but when combined with a physiotherapist or a speech therapist in the session, it takes a completely different meaning, and the dog or the animal provides complete motivation for the child or the person to push their limits.
Basically, things have changed in terms of his hyperactivity has come down, his focus has improved, and one more thing which I feel that helps a special child or an autistic child, and the relation between the dog that he shares is both are not judgmental. So it becomes so easy for both of them to interact, and it is so good thing to see the happiness that Siddhant's face reflects, once he's out with the therapy, is really very different.
A patient of depression as a teenager, Aditi overcame her problems with the help of her pet dog and Minal's constant support. Today, she is the oldest volunteer of Animal Angels, along with her pets who provide therapy and love to every patient.
When a special kid interacts with a therapy dog, it opens up very easily. If a kid is low on self-confidence, dog helps them open up.
Minal's perseverance and her love for animals has brought along a spark of hope and happiness in several lives. Bundu is one of the largest, densely forested, tribal inhabited blocks of Ranchi district in Jharkhand. For years, the villagers of this block were forced to live in pitiable conditions in poverty and isolation. But life changed for them 5 years ago. Now the mornings have become the most productive time of the day for villagers like Saraswati Devi. They harvest their produce of lac in the forest, sell the yields to buyers and earn a livelihood they never dreamt of.
बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है। अभी तो हमको लकड़ी नहीं ले जाना पड़ता है ढो के बेचने के लिए। फिर मेरा हस्बैंड को गाड़ी चलाने बाहर नहीं जाना पड़ता है। 6 महीना में हम लोग का 80,000 70,000 होना ही होना है, उतना होता है। और अभी तो बैंक में भी रखते हैं पैसा। पहले किसी का तबीयत ख़राब होने से हम लोग कर्जा लेते थे दूसरा कोई से, और चुकाने भी मुश्किल होता था।
Making this community in Bundu aware that they could earn a living from the forests is Mithilesh Kumar.
लाह एक ऐसा नेचुरल रेजिन है जो कि एक कीड़े द्वारा सिक्रीट किया जाता है। वो कीड़े को बोलते हैं, साइंटिफिक नेम है केरियाला का। वो कुछ ही पेड़ में, चुने हुए पेड़ में पनपता है, फैलता है और अपना राल बनाता है। वो पेड़ है कुसुम, बेर, पलास। स्टडी कर रहे थे हम उस समय, हमने पाया कि लोग लाह खेती को छोड़ रहे हैं। फिर काफ़ी डिटेल में जाने पे पता चला कि क्लाइमेट कंडीशन और सही ढंग से तौर तरीके से नहीं खेती करने की वजह से लाह की खेती डाउन जा रही है। इसके वजह से लोग इससे इंटरेस्ट लोगों का कम हो रहा है। फिर हमने स्केल को देखते हुए और वॉल्यूम को देखते हुए इस ट्रेड के हमने इसमें लैंड अप किया, क्योंकि हमने सोचा कि अगर हम कुछ अच्छा कर पाएंगे तो काफ़ी वॉल्यूम में फैमिली को इम्पैक्ट कर पाएंगे, काफ़ी लोगों की ज़िंदगी को इम्पैक्ट कर पाएंगे। इसलिए फिर से एक बार आप लोगों को बताएंगे कि कैसे लाह का खेती करते हैं, क्योंकि आप लोगों के दिमाग से बहुत सारा ज़्यादा समय हो जाने से निकल जाता है।
The project strengthening Lac Value Chain is run by an NGO Udyogini.
यहाँ पे बांधेंगे तो दोनों तीनों डाल में जाएगा कीड़ा, अगर ऊपर बांध देंगे तो सिर्फ एक ही में जाएगा।
It not only trains the tribal communities about the scientific techniques in lac cultivation, but also develops entrepreneurial skills in the women producers, enhancing their living standards and livelihood opportunities.
इस लैक इनिशिएटिव की यूनिकनेस की बात करें तो सबसे पहला कि ये पूरी तरह महिलाओं के साथ होता है, जिससे कि महिला इससे जुड़ती है, महिला काम करती हैं और जो इनकम आता है वो महिला के खाते में डायरेक्ट आता है, जिससे कि हमने बहुत सारा बदलाव देखा है महिला के अंदर में भी। उनको सशक्तिकरण महिलाओं का काफ़ी अच्छा हुआ है। दूसरा यूनिकनेस है इस प्रोजेक्ट का ये है कि ये एंटरप्राइज मॉडल है, जहाँ पे कि लोग किसी संस्था के ऊपर, किसी प्रोग्राम के ऊपर, किसी पर्सन के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट नहीं हैं। लोग खुद से अपना सारा चीज़ डेवलप किए हुए हैं, अपना पैसा लगाते हैं, अपना अर्न करते हैं। सिर्फ हम लोग थोड़ा सा उनके साथ ट्रेनिंग करते हैं और हल्का डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन करते हैं, जिससे वो खुद से पिकअप करके ऑनरशिप अपने ऊपर लेते हैं। हमारा एक्शन प्लान होगा बुंदू में।
Started in 2009, this project has successfully covered 432 villages and impacted the lives of 13,500 tribal families in Jharkhand. The small-scale venture has also started putting the byproducts of lac into useful creations like bangles, keychains, pen stands and other decorative items.
इस 5 साल के बीच में मैं स्पेशली बहुत सारा बदलाव देख पाता हूँ इनकी ज़िंदगी में। ऐसे जो हम लोग शहर में रहते हैं वो परिवर्तन को बहुत दूसरे ढंग से देखते हैं, जैसे गाड़ी होना, 4 चक्का होना परिवर्तन है या वो इम्प्रूवमेंट है लाइफ में। लेकिन जो एक इनकी सेटिस्फेक्शन की बात है कि मतलब इनके पास 3 टाइम का खाना हो, स्वास्थ्य अच्छा हो, शिक्षा पे खर्च कर सके, या इनके पास एक कुछ रिजर्व फंड हो जिसके ये अपने परिवार में कुछ आफत आए हो जिससे डील कर सके। तो हमने एक स्टडी की थी जिसमें 43% माइग्रेशन चेक हुआ है सिर्फ लाह की खेती की वजह से। जो भी दीदी या दादा जो खेत बाहर जाते थे या तो ईंटा भट्टा में काम करते थे या मजदूरी के लिए काम करते थे, वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा चेक हुआ है। लोग अपने घर परिवार में रिटर्न आए हैं, अपने परिवार के साथ रह रहे हैं और यही इसी क्षेत्र में रह के अपने परिवार को विकसित कर रहे हैं।
Today, because of Mithilesh Kumar's endeavor, many women villagers like Saraswati Devi can dream of a better and a prosperous future. tucked in the Nilgiri hills in this quaint town of Kotagiri. Life for the local communities here was mostly idle. Their only source of employment being tea plantation or odd jobs which fetched meager incomes. Sumitra is one such local. Her days were spent in household chores and tending to her kids. Earning a monthly income was a distant dream until one organization changed her life.
கிராமத்தில் இருக்கோம். இங்கே வந்து ஒரு 24 குடும்பங்கள் வாழ்ந்துட்டுருக்கோம். இந்த ஆதிமலை கம்பெனி, ஆதிமலை பழங்குடியினர் உற்பத்தியாளர் கம்பெனி வந்து இப்போ தொடங்கி 4 மாதம் ஆச்சுங்க. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி கோம்பை பழங்குடி மக்கள் வளர்ச்சி குழுன்னு செயல்பட்டிருந்தேன். இதுக்கு வந்து சப்போர்ட்டிங் பயிற்சி எல்லாம் கொடுத்து கீஸ்டோன் கொடுத்துட்ருந்தாங்க. ஸோ இந்த எங்கள் ஏரியாவில் இது ஒரு 7-8 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி சுசிலான்ட்டு ஒரு அம்மா வேலை பண்ணிகிட்டு இருந்தாங்க கீஸ்டோனில்.
Started by Matthew John, Last Forest Enterprises promotes indigenous products and crafts from small farmers and harvesters.
Last Forest, interestingly, as a concept has been there for quite some time, and even actually it's an offshoot from Keystone Foundation, which is a trust. And ever since we started Keystone itself, we felt that marketing has to be one foundation on which you have to build your work in rural areas.
It's been a boon to the local farmers and craftspeople, giving them a chance to showcase their products and get good returns.
We primarily we are here working with 3 or 4 communities: the Kurumbas, the Irulas, the Todas. I mean, this I'm talking from a market perspective. Though in terms of other activities that go on in terms of conservation, there are many other communities that we engage with. With these communities, the products that come out is honey. You have from the Toda area, you have the Toda embroidery, and recently we worked with the trademark registry, and now we have the geographical indicator for their embroidery, which is a huge step. And so for all these groups, when we take out products, they see it in their own local markets, in Kotagiri, in Kunur and in Ooty. It's not that these products are taken out and sent outside.
Their policy is simple: to grant fair trade and organic status to marginalized farmers without them having to pay heavily for the privilege.
As an organization, we believe that a product is organic, and if it's claimed by the community, or or the community says, or the group that's working with them says that they have paid fair prices, they have fair working conditions, I think it's good enough. And I think we don't need to add those costs onto the entire system as a whole.
A growing market gives these rural communities stable employment, and their skills are put to use at the same time. They get upfront cash payment and the assurance that the quantities they produce will be purchased.
The thing is the price that we pay for these products. For most products, we give them a higher market price than the prevailing wholesale rate, whatever is available, or what traders pay them.
Last Forest has created a network of retail stores in Mysore, Ooty, Kunnur and Kotagiri. Honey, spices, coffee, oils, lip balms and soaps are some of the best-selling items.
I think these stores I don't think we ever thought that we would open stores. But our first store, opened in Kotagiri itself, because we realized over time that every time somebody wanted honey, somebody would jump on a bike and run around to give 2 bottles of honey. And it started like that. But then you cannot keep, running around delivering stuff all during the day. And so we said, okay, let's start a shop and see what that impact, how it helps us out.
Sourcing the finest organic products while ensuring the producers get good returns. Matthew John's Last Forest is truly an inspiration.